Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. My name is Kiana and today is going to be episode 4 of our legacy series with Love L. So if you're new here, welcome. This is our Sim Elliot. She does go by L. L is our legacy founder, so to speak. We don't have any set rules for this series, we are just playing the game. So right now Elle is enjoying some outdoor time and the tiny bit of green space we have here in the Spice District. She is focusing on her health and wellness and enjoying her morning yoga session, and I figured this would be a really good time to quickly recap the last episode. So last episode, Elle did roll the want to get into a relationship, which makes sense because she is a family-oriented sim, and she does want to get married according to her soul's journey. We have been going on some dates as a result of that. So we went on a date with our next door neighbor Manny in the last episode, and I honestly thought it was a pretty decent date. Manny does have the romantically reserved trait though, which I did give to him because I thought it would be interesting to see if two Sims with conflicting romance styles could make it work. I am sadly going to have to report that I don't think that they can, unfortunately. They went bowling and had some drinks, and they seemed to be getting along really well. It did seem like Manny was receptive to some of Elle's advances, and at one point he even asked us to woohoo in a dumpster, which in my mind isn't something a romantically reserved sim would do in real life. Then at the end of the night, Elle initiated a first kiss, which Manny accepted, but then he ended up leaving the date feeling very dissatisfied with our romantic relationship. So I don't exactly know where we go with Manny or how we'd even be able to successfully make a romantic relationship work if we can't do anything romantic. But we are going to set Manny aside for this episode and focus on what Elle has going on for today. For starters, Elle is going to be going on another date with Harrison. So Harrison is the sim that we went out with in the second episode. They went on a really nice dinner date. And today we're going to be taking him on a romantic picnic date because we do have quite a bit of work to do still on the first level of our romantic explorer aspiration. She does still need to use the romantic blanket 3 times for romance and share food from the sweethearts box twice. So I'm hoping we can complete both of those tasks today because I would really like her to finally make it to level 2. So then later this evening, she is going to be hosting a housewarming party back at her apartment. We're going to be inviting all of the friends that she's met since she's been living here in San Myshuno, as well as her coworkers from Lux, and her twin brother is going to be there. So we're finally going to get to meet Riley. It's going to be a really low-key affair, and the plan is to just throw on some music, play some games, and just celebrate her moving into her first apartment. So I'm really looking forward to that. All right, so we are now caught up, and it is perfect timing because Elle has just finished her yoga session. So I'm going to have her head back to her apartment, get dressed, and then we will meet you over at the park for her date. All right, so we've made it to the park. Our date is already underway, so we do have to, as our main task, romantically socialize 10 times, which should be pretty easy for this kind of a date, I would think. So they are just enjoying a little bit of a cheese platter that Elle put together along with some champagne. So hopefully that fills her up because she was actually starving before we got here. I also noticed that she does have the want to ask Harrison to be her boyfriend. So we're definitely not going to do that. But as y'all probably know by now, I do tend to play a little bit more whims based. So now that I know that that is something that she wants, in the event that he does ask us, I will say yes. All right, so we still have 9 more romantic socials to do. We need to small talk one more time, share interest twice, and then 2 attempts at physical intimacy. I think I'm probably going to do some of this as maybe like a little montage as opposed to making you guys sit through this. She's been on a bunch of dates. You guys have seen so much of this stuff already. I did decide to add in a little speaker for a little bit of music. I thought that was a nice touch to really kick the romance up a little bit. They're both feeling very flirty, which is really good. So right now, Harrison, if it will ever come up, I'm sorry, is my game frozen? Oh, there we go. He is ready for some action, of course, because they always are. Swooning over crush says, "Can how can someone be so irresistible?" Harrison can't stop daydreaming about his crush. And he is also feeling playful from the champagne, and he is having work withdrawals from his workaholic trait, which actually does bring up a really good point because I don't think we ever went through Harrison's Somology panel the same way we did for Manny. So let's go ahead and do that now. So I did download a mod that now gives us 5 traits as opposed to 3. I added a couple of traits for Elle as well that I don't think we covered, but for Harrison, he is self-assured, He has the old money trait, which we already knew about, family oriented, perfectionist, and romantic. He also has the always welcome bonus trait, the great kisser bonus trait, and the great storyteller bonus trait. He prefers exclusive romantic relationships. He is shrewd, and it says it's a reward trait from him completing the fabulously wealthy aspiration. I don't remember him doing that, but it makes sense based off of his storyline that that is something that he would have done. He would be happy to have a child right now. He is observant, brave, business savvy from choosing a fortune aspiration, alluring from choosing a love aspiration, and he has the hero and the lover personality archetypes. He also has, as I mentioned, the workaholic lifestyle, and he has a degree in language and literature from Brightchester, so they went to the same university. So that is Harrison, and that's how he's doing. We'll take a quick look at Elle. I already mentioned that she wants Harrison to be her boyfriend. As far as her moodlets are concerned, she is also swooning over her crush. Compersion, which I'm guessing is something that came with Love Struck because I'd never seen this before until recently. It says Elliot gains a boost of happiness, seeing her partner have a good time. Her love thrives on trust and freedom. This is from her needs being super high, of course. Apparently, that cheese tray was a healthy food item, so she got her buff for her health food net lifestyle. This one is from her crush being here. It says from crushing on someone nearby. OMG, Elliot just spent some quality time with her crush. And then picnic me up from having a picnic. A nice meal outdoors can lift a Sim's spirits. And then I think all the rest of these are pretty standard. Well, this one isn't. Smooth talker from having a crush. Oh yeah, that went so smooth. Elliot was cool as a cucumber around her crush. All right, so that is what they have going on as far as their mood lists are concerned. I think she might be done with her food, and now she's finished with her champagne. So I just keep pausing, don't I? Immediately, I'm gonna put this back in the cooler, and then I'm gonna put the cooler back in her inventory. And then we're just going to start focusing on her aspiration tasks. So I think we will start with the romance blanket and using it 3 times for romance. So for starters, I am going to have them watch the sky together. All right, so we've been kind of working through the date. We're kind of on the last phase of it now. We've already got a goal date, which was really important to me because remember, we lost the little picture that came with our first goal date with Harrison. So we definitely needed another one to replace it. But we're actually doing really well. So she has completed the use the romantic blanket 3 times portion of the first task. And she also has done one of the 2 share foods. So this should be the second one, which would mean she would officially move into level 2 of the romantic explorer aspiration, which is super exciting. Outside of that, I did have to put the blanket back in her inventory because they absolutely kept trying to woohoo. I think they're doing quite well though. She's got a lot of positive moodlet. She's feeling very flirty, still swooning over her crush, which you love to see. And he's doing pretty well also. So I think after she finishes up this, I am going to have her give him a quick hug and a kiss. And we're going to end this date and head on out of here. I also did have to extend it once because we were running short on time. And I really wanted to make sure we got gold. The one complaint I will have, this is my first time seeing these interactions. The first time she did truffles, or maybe this time she's doing the truffles, I don't know. So there were truffles and there were chocolate covered strawberries that we did. It just takes a really long time to work through that aspiration or that animation. All right, so we moved into level 2. Now we need to discuss romantic boundaries. We need to have a romantic partner. We need to achieve level 4 of the romance skill, and we need to embrace 3 times. Those are all very easy. In fact, we're going to embrace right now. We're not asking him any questions because I feel like I know what question you're going to ask, and definitely not. So instead of asking a question, Why don't you come on over here and embrace him and then give Harrison a quick kiss? And we're going to head back home so that we can get ready for the party. So let's embrace. Are we doing it? Yes. Okay. And then I have to keep pausing because if I don't pause, they will immediately try to do like something else freaky. Offer massage. All right, that's not too bad. But I do not want you to do that. I actually want you to give him a kiss, and then we're going to end this date. Romance, physical intimacy, and we're just going to do a regular old kiss. Okay, so she's going to do the massage anyway. Love that. Okay, and now she's going to do the kiss. Great. All right, so we're going to call that the official end of this date. Here he is. Look at him being nasty. I'm just going to reset him so that I can make sure they don't. I don't even know where they would go. I removed the blanket. So, like, whatever freaky frog business they were getting ready to do, we're going to cut that. MC cheats, resets him. All right. And then I'm going to have her end this. End early, yes. And we got a gold medal on our romantic date. And it says here, wow, that was such a legendary date. Your sim was on fire out there. There's a gift in your sim's inventory to help you remember such a great time. Try customizing the description using the name interaction. And we got a cherished memories portrait, which is exactly what we needed to replace the one that we lost. I don't know how I feel about how they're looking at each other right now. Why is he looking at her like that? And why is she looking at him like that? Maybe because they were about to woohoo and I just ruined it and now everyone's awkward and like feeling things. I don't know. But she has to use the restroom. So let's go ahead and get back to Elle's apartment so that we can start setting up for her housewarming party. All right, we are back at Elle's apartment. As you can see, she is already dressed and ready for the party. She's just doing a little bit of light cleaning because there were some dust bunnies in her apartment earlier. So she's just trying to make sure that they don't pop back up while her guests are here. So if I sound different, it's been several hours since the date ended. I did have a movie date with my daughter, so I'm just sitting back down to record quite a few hours later. So if I sound different, that's why. I'm just gonna let her finish up this vacuuming. She's already cleaned the bathroom up a little bit, so she should be pretty much ready to start the party at 8 o'clock. So we do have a little bit of music going. We've got some Latin pop on the stereo. I did put out a card table. We've got our thumbs up game, and we also put out some a little something to eat. So we've got a little meat and cheese board, and we've also got some champagne. So she is all ready for her guests to come. I also like the outfit that she's wearing. I think this top is by Reming's, and it is really, really cute. I think it was recently released, so I'm really into it. All right, I don't know if it's just me, but I feel like that vacuum cleaner is hella loud. All right, so it says the housewarming is about to begin. Are you ready to start? We sure are. All right, so hopefully she can finish this. And let's see what our options are over here, what we have to do. So her main goal is to socialize with her guests twice. We can absolutely do that. Here comes Tyler. She's the first one in the door. Oh, is that lag? What was that? And then we have to have two Sims play games at the same time. And then she needs to take a selfie and also tell a story. We can do all of those things. So let's start by thanking Tyler for coming since she is the first one in the door and immediately appears to be going for a food or drink situation. So let's thank her for coming. And then we will probably take that selfie because I keep saying that I want her to do a better job of marketing herself, especially if she's going to have her own boutique. At some point, she's going to have a customer base. And right now, she's got like 7 followers. So I definitely want her to do a little bit better about that. So we'll definitely try to take a selfie tonight. So you might see as you walk through or that as we're walking through her apartment that it's looking a little bit empty. I did take out the television, the computer, and the refrigerator because Sims do like to try it. So at least this way, I don't have to worry about them grabbing random food out of her refrigerator or continuing to turn on the TV or her computer when they're supposed to be socializing with the rest of the guests. So that is kind of just a little something that I do to try to make it a little bit easier. All right, so far we've got Tyler, Julian, and now Diego is coming in. Oh, and Caroline is here. I don't know when she met Diego. I don't remember, but we did know him, so I had him come on out. It doesn't look like we have asked for love advice. Why would we do that? She wants to be friendly with Tyler. Who is she attracted to in this room? We all work together, so that's kind of weird. We have Diego coming in. There is Fallon and Kiko, and this is Gabby Gonzalez. We know Gabby from my Harper University Let's Play series. I did add her in here as well because she's from San Myshuno in my mind. And I was looking for another style influencer since we have so many jobs to do in the fashion photography career. And so I just decided to plop Gabby in here. And so now we're friends with her. So we invited her to come as well. Somehow, even though I feel like I did thank Tyler for coming, that didn't count. So let me try again with Julian. And then maybe she can tell a funny story. Let's do story and let's see what comes up. Funny stories. Tell a funny story. Let's tell a funny story and hopefully we'll at least be able to get one of those two out. It looks like someone else is playing cards. Oh, so they're playing this game here. So it looks like it's Fallon and Kiko that are playing. Toast the housewarming. Can I do that without the champagne bottle thingy? I don't think I can. I'm not seeing that option. Maybe on an individual drink. Nope, not on there either. All right, so there's Akira. He's in. Looks like Diego is attracted to someone in the kitchen. I'm waiting for her brother to come. Oh, he's here. It looks like he is really crushing on Gabby, who does not like guys. So he is in for a rude awakening there. But this is Elle's twin brother, Riley. So we will definitely talk to Riley more or talk about Riley more in the next episode. They're both going to be going to Brindleton Bay together to hang out with their parents for Father's Day. So we'll chat a lot more with Riley there, but this is Elle's twin brother. All right, so it looks like in the background we also have Liz. I don't know if you remember Liz from episode 2. She is Elle's hairstylist, and then of course that is Caroline from work. I still don't appear to have checked off any of the socializing goals, so we'll try this. Maybe she's still telling that same story. Looks like she was. Okay. So I'm gonna have her come over here and do a selfie really fast. There's Izzy. Izzy is another style influencer that we met through our fashion photography career. Let's just go here really fast. Let's do this selfie. And I actually do want her to upload that to Instagram. And just like that, just completing that main goal has already had satisfied the main objective. And we now have a goal for the party. So that is nice. All right, let's do a selfie. Phone, camera, take a selfie. All right, I don't like that that is stuck in her hair, but I am going to use this as an opportunity to do that. And I also want to figure out what's going on with her makeup, that like right around her eyes. She has that weird situation go on. Let's switch this. I don't hate it. I do still kind of feel like that's for getting engaged, but it's fine. That's the same one. We're seeing a lot of the same ones. I'll go ahead and do that one. This one is really pretty. I think that's going to be the one we upload. Let's do 2 of those just in case something weird happens. And then we'll do that one. That's fine. And then what I would like to do is, now that we've satisfied everything, I want to come over here and place these photos on the wall so that we can pick one and upload it to our Simstagram account. Should be in this set of photos. Is it this one? No, it's this one. It's over here. All right, so I'm trying to find place on the wall. They don't appear to want to go on the wall. This is my selfie wall, so that's really confusing. I'm just going to put them here then. Here it is. This is the one. All right, so I'm going to close that up, and then let's come over here and let's upload this one to Simstagram. And while she's doing that, I'll put all the rest of these back. And I also want her to give Riley a quick hug and then spend some more time with her guests. All right, so it says perfect image for today's mood. Your followers felt the same. Elliot has gained 80 followers. She now has 107 followers in total. Love that for us. Okay, so now that she's gotten that out of the way, I do want her to come over here and say hello to her brother. I feel like he would probably get a very special hello from her. So let's come over here and give Riley a hug. We'll just do a regular hug. And then I also want her to gush about her date with him because they're pretty close. Okay, so is she going to do the hug or what is she doing? She's chatting with him. I don't know if the hug happened while my. There we go. All right, there's the hug. And then I do want her to tell him about her date as well. As I was saying before, my game terrified me. I feel like they would have a lot of those conversations. Gush about best date ever or show hot pictures of recent date. Well, we do have hot pictures of our recent date. So let's show our brother the pictures of Harrison that we got today as our reward. All right, he says Riley just became good friends with Elliot. I'm pretty sure they already were good friends, but that's fine. She wants to stargaze with Tyler. Definitely not going to be doing that. She also wants to discuss color theory. All right, so since we've already satisfied everything we need to do here, I kind of feel like she put herself back in a flirty mood by talking about Harrison. So maybe before it gets too late, we will send him a flirty text. And then we're just going to focus. We're focused on our guests from there, I swear. All right, so let's go to Harrison and then social, send flirty text. Just going to tell him that we're thinking about him and we really enjoyed the part or the picnic from earlier. Looks like everything's good in here. I was worried that someone was going to break my sink because it was dirty earlier, and I feel like sometimes right after you clean it, it breaks randomly. All right, so we're doing really well with this party. We're not going to be able to toast to the housewarming, but I think she is kind of telling everyone that she appreciates them being here. So now might be a good time to come in here and play some cards. So let's set that up. Let's play cards with Fallon, Tyler, and who else does she have a really good relationship with? Maybe Elizabeth? And I think she's going to tell them a little bit about her dates as well. Because we haven't really had an opportunity to talk to them, especially since I changed our schedule for work. We haven't seen them today, and then yesterday we were super busy. She's getting tired. The plan is for this party to end at midnight, so I'm going to try really hard to stick to that if I can. So Riley's in here hanging out. Here comes Julian. The rest of them are just kind of hanging in here and chatting. So I think this is going to be the time where she decides to look over to Fallon and then gush about the best date ever. Gush about best date ever. They're playing Uno, which I think is hilarious. I feel like people cheat at Uno all the time. At least everyone that I know that plays cheats. Everyone's got their own rules about how to play. It's looking like she's gonna have like stuff all over her apartment, glasses, plates, etc. So what I will probably do is have her hire a one-time housekeeper to come out to straighten all that up so that she doesn't have to worry about it. I do want her to get up really early. She and Riley are going to be taking a train to Brindleton Bay. So she's got to be up pretty early. She's also going to be baking a cake for her dad because that is what she is getting him for Father's Day. So we want to make sure that she gets that done before she heads over there. All right, so it's a little after 10. Things are still going fine. It looks like at some point she got 12 additional followers from that same one picture. So now we have 119 followers. I definitely would like her to get to at least like 50,000 followers before we open the boutique, which is a long way away considering that she only has 7,000 simoleons to her name. I will say though, her next job, she's actually going to be getting a nice little bit of money because we accepted another freelance fashion photography gig. The payout is 8,965 simoleons. So we're practically going to be doubling our entire like household funds overnight. What is that? Wait. Okay, so this is from Manny. I'm feeling very dissatisfied in our relationship. If you're mean to me while I feel this way, our romantic relationship will suffer. All right, so I don't think that we've interacted with Manny at all this entire day. I'm really annoyed that just out of nowhere he would randomly decide to interrupt her. It almost feels like he knows that she's got people over here today, and this is his way of trying to, like, I don't know, make her sad or cause her to start thinking about him and focus less on her guests and like having a good time. And I'm just gonna be honest with y'all, I really don't like that. Like, I know that Manny is romantically reserved and I can appreciate that, but now it kind of feels like he's just being a little toxic. I'm not with that at all. I don't know if she should even pursue anything with Manny at this point. Actually, I do. I kind of strongly feel like she should not pursue anything with Manny at this point because that is really like next level toxic behavior. He wasn't even a part of this and he's just somehow insinuated himself into the situation. So I have a problem with that. Is she getting kind of like negative moods or anything? So these are all good. Is this from him? Noisy neighbors from neighbor's situation on apartment floor. The blaring sounds from a neighbor's apartment are enough to inspire insomnia and anger. All right, so it looks like she doesn't have anything from Manny and his foolishness. But what is this? Incredible text from texting. After reading your use of abbreviations and emoticons, it's no surprise that some Sims consider texting to be the only true art form. All right then. So who's making the noise? We only have two options. It's either Manny or it's Kiana. It's my sim self. So who's doing it? And it's Manny. All right, he really is being toxic. So on top of him acting a fool and sending her that message to let her know how dissatisfied he is unsolicited, he has also decided to start making a whole bunch of noise in his apartment to disrupt her while she's having her party. So did he just turn his TV up loud? That's what it sounds like. All right, we're gonna come over here and we're gonna knock on that door. I can't believe he would do that. That's actually really gross. I'm super annoyed. Like, if I were dating somebody who did something like this in real life, that would be the last time they would ever hear from me. This is not okay. Hopefully, he can hear us. All right, it sounds like she can't. Did he hear us now? He did. Yeah, I have an attitude too, buddy. All right, so I think because we pounded on the door, we have to complain angrily about noise. It's our only option. So I think in addition to complaining about the noise, we are also complaining about the fact that he randomly decided to reach out to us and tell us that he was very dissatisfied with our romantic relationship for no reason, like in an attempt to try and make things worse, or to mess up our day. So he says, I'm sorry, you're right. That was a bit inconsiderate. We'll try to keep the noise down. Thanks for letting us know, good neighbor. Who is we? I guess she can't really be like jealous because she is openly dating someone else that she has already said she wants to be in a relationship with. So probably not the best situation for her to be like asking who he's got in his apartment. But at this point, I don't know that we should care who he's got in his apartment because I don't appreciate that behavior at all. All right, so let's come on back in here and let's just hang out with our friends and not think about that. We've got about an hour left of the party, so let's come and chat with them. I don't know who we just clicked on, but let's thank them for coming. There we go. And we have a last exception or something. I don't know what. Who's out here? Oh, he was coming out to talk to us. And our sink is broken. I knew that was going to happen. I'm going to ask Riley to come in here and fix that for us. So we're just going to control him because Elle has no handiness skill. And I kind of like the idea of keeping it that way. So, no, you're not going to come and listen to retro. You are instead going to come in here and you're going to repair a sink, please. Thank you. That's what brothers are for. All right, I'm sorry, did Manny just die? Why is he a ghost now? I'm going to assume that he didn't just die because we were just talking to him, but I also have not updated my game yet for the Enchanted by Nature patch. So it's quite possible that my game is just acting. What are you doing in here, Izzy? Is he looking at himself in the mirror or is he admiring our handbag collection? I'm choosing to believe that he's admiring our handbag collection, which actually makes me feel really good because he is a super fashionable sim. All right, so she's just chatting in here with Diego and the rest of her guests. We've just got about a half hour left. We didn't get anything from um, Harrison about the selfie that we sent. That's actually another thing. So I guess that makes sense. Manny did see that we posted a photo of ourselves at our party on his Instagram, and maybe he got jealous or like felt left out or something. Either way, that's really gross. All right, so I'm hoping that we'll actually be able to go to bed. Yes, okay, that's good because we're going to need to get some sleep. I really am disappointed in Manny. He's doing the most. All right, so we're going to wrap up the party in just a few minutes here, and then we are going to need to straighten up a little bit of Elle's apartment. And by straighten up, I mean just put her refrigerator and her TV and her computer back so that she can use that in the morning. But we are going to have all the guests leave. So I'm kind of trying to wait until Riley finishes with the sink before I end the party because I don't want him to like randomly leave as well. It is just a little like a hair after 12. All right, so it looks like he's done. Let me go ahead and end the party. She did get gold, so we'll see what that gets us in just a second. But let me stop controlling Riley before he leaves. All right, so we got a reward. It says, "What a wonderful housewarming event. Thank you for inviting us over to celebrate your new home with you. Your guests have come over to leave you, or come together to leave you with a new rug, plant, lamp, painting, scented candles, and 100 simoleons to purchase additional items for the new home." Not gonna lie to you, we are probably going to sell all of those things for some extra simoleons. I know that we will have our first loan payment coming up at some point. I'm surprised that they haven't reached out to us already, honestly. So I want to make sure that we've got the cash on hand for that. Plus, tomorrow is Monday in game. Well, the day after this. And I'm sure she'll have some bills due. All right, so before she gets ready for bed, I am going to just straighten up in here a little bit, put her card table away, put these chairs back at her table, and put her appliances and her electronics back in her apartment. So it's a little after 1 a.m. now, and Elle is all ready for bed. So I think I'm going to leave this episode here. Thank you so much for those of you who continue to support. Thank you for watching all the way to the end if you did make it. I appreciate that. Definitely subscribe if you haven't already. Do like and comment. Those things are so super helpful for YouTube's algorithm. Also, let me know what you thought of the episode and what you thought of the fact that Elle is now interested in being in a romantic relationship with Harrison, and also everything that Manny did in this episode. I would love to hear what you guys think about that. Yeah, so that's everything that I have. Thanks again for watching, and I will see you all in the next episode. Bye.